The Power of Relaxation as a Magnet for Good Things. What if the very act of forcing, pushing, and desperately chasing your dreams is actually the reason they keep running away from you? Most people believe that struggle equals success, that suffering proves worthiness, and that exhaustion is the price of achievement. But here is the shocking truth that science and ancient wisdom both confirm. Your nervous system, when locked in stress and tension, literally closes the channels through which abundance, love, health, and opportunity flow into your life. Think about it this way. When your fists are clenched tightly, nothing new can be placed in your hands. Relaxation is not laziness. Relaxation is not giving up. Relaxation is actually the highest form of trust. Trust in yourself, trust in life, and trust in the invisible forces that are constantly working in your favor. When you soften your body, calm your breath, and release the desperation, you become like a magnet whose power has been fully switched on. The universe responds not to your panic, but to your peace. Your thoughts are the blueprint of your reality. What if every single thought you think today is quietly building the life you will live tomorrow? This sounds almost too simple to be true, and yet it is perhaps the most powerful and shocking truth about human existence. Your mind does not just observe reality, your mind actively creates it. Every thought you repeat becomes a belief. Every belief shapes a feeling. Every feeling drives a behavior, and every behavior produces a result. This is not poetic language. This is how the brain actually functions. Neurons that fire together wire together, meaning your repeated thoughts literally carve pathways in your brain that become your default way of experiencing the world. If you constantly think, I am not enough, your brain will filter every experience through that lens, finding evidence to confirm it everywhere. But when you begin thinking, life loves me and good things are always coming to me, your brain begins finding evidence for that instead. You are not a passive victim of circumstances. You are the architect, the designer, and the builder of your entire experience. Self-love is not selfish. It is the foundation of everything. What if the reason your relationships keep failing, your finances stay tight, and your body keeps getting sick is simply because you have never truly learned to love yourself? This is the statement that makes people uncomfortable, and that discomfort is exactly the sign that it needs to be heard. Self-love has been completely misunderstood by our society. People confuse it with arrogance, with selfishness, with narcissism. But real self-love is none of those things. Real self-love is the quiet, steady, unshakable belief that you are worthy of good things, not because you have earned them, not because you are perfect, not because you have achieved something extraordinary, but simply because you exist. When you truly love yourself, you make better choices, you attract better people, you create better habits, you speak to yourself with kindness instead of cruelty. Self-love is the soil in which every good thing in your life grows. Without it, you can try 1,000 different strategies for success, and they will all eventually fail. With it, even the simplest action produces extraordinary results. Releasing resistance. Let life flow through you. What if the good things you have been praying for, working for, and desperately waiting for are actually already on their way to you, but your resistance is blocking them at the door? This is one of the most shocking and yet liberating ideas you will ever encounter. Resistance shows up in many disguised forms: worry, doubt, complaint, resentment, judgment, and the constant habit of saying yes, but. Every time you say, I want more money, but I never have enough, You cancel the want with the resistance. Every time you say, I want love, but nobody ever chooses me, you push love further away. Resistance is simply fear wearing different costumes. And the antidote to resistance is not force, Ko, it is flow. Flow means trusting that life is fundamentally on your side. Flow means allowing good things to arrive in unexpected ways, on unexpected timelines, through unexpected doors. When you stop fighting the river of life and simply allow yourself to float, you discover that the current was always moving you towards something magnificent. You just needed to stop swimming against it. Affirmations that rewire your brain and transform your life. What if you could literally change your brain chemistry, your emotional state, your physical health, and your life circumstances simply by changing the words you say to yourself every single day? Neuroscience now confirms what teachers of the mind have known for centuries. The words you repeat to yourself become the operating system of your life. Most people walk around with an internal dialogue that is shockingly cruel. They say things to themselves that they would never dare say to someone they love. I am so stupid. I am so fat. I will never be successful. Nobody really loves me. And then they wonder why their life feels like a constant battle. Affirmations are the technology of reprogramming. They are not magic spells or wishful thinking. They are deliberate, conscious instructions you give your brain about how to interpret and respond to reality. When practiced consistently, with emotion, with belief, and with repetition, affirmations literally create new neural pathways. They shift your default thinking. They change what you notice, what you attract, and what you allow into your life. The words you choose today are shaping the world you will live in tomorrow. Gratitude as the accelerator of abundance. What if the single fastest way to bring more good things into your life was something so simple, so free, and so completely available to you right now that it seems almost ridiculous? That thing is gratitude, not the polite, obligatory kind, but the deep, genuine, soul-level recognition that life has already given you so much to celebrate. Here is what makes this shocking. Most people believe they will feel grateful after good things arrive. But the truth works in the exact opposite direction. Gratitude must come first. When you look at your life and genuinely say thank you for what already exists, the air in your lungs, the heartbeat in your chest, the eyes that are reading these words right now, you shift your energy from lack to abundance. And the universe, life, the invisible intelligence that governs all things, it responds to the frequency of gratitude by sending more experiences that match it. Gratitude is not just a nice practice, it is a powerful force. It is the accelerator pedal of abundance. Press it every single day and watch how quickly your life begins to transform. What if everything you have ever been taught about how to create a good life has been completely, entirely, and absolutely wrong? What if the reason you are exhausted, frustrated, and still waiting for the breakthrough you deserve is not because you are not working hard enough, but because you are working too hard in the wrong direction? What if I told you that the universe does not respond to your desperation, it responds to your peace? What if the love you are searching for, the money you are struggling for, the health you are praying for, and the joy you are waiting for are all sitting right outside your door, and the only reason they have not walked in yet is because your energy, your resistance, and your fear are blocking the entrance? What if relaxing was not giving up, but was actually the bravest, most powerful, most transformational thing you could possibly do right now. And what if starting today, starting this very moment, starting with the next breath you take, everything could begin to shift? Stay with me. Because what I am about to share with you has the power to change not just how you think, but how you live, how you love, how you feel, and what you attract into your life forever. What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, life is trying to give you everything you have ever wanted, and the only thing standing between you and that extraordinary life is the simple, radical, revolutionary act of relaxing and allowing it to arrive? I know. That statement alone is probably making something inside you push back. Because we live in a world that worships hustle, a world that glorifies exhaustion, a world that tells you if you are not struggling, you are not serious. If you are not stressed, you do not care enough. If you are not grinding yourself into the ground, you do not deserve the rewards. But let me ask you something very honest and very direct. How has that belief been working for you? How many years have you been pushing? How many nights have you lost sleep worrying? How many times have you forced things, chased things, and fought for things, only to feel like the more you chased, the further away everything seemed to run? There is a different way, a completely different way of living. And it begins with one simple but earth-shattering understanding. You are not separate from the goodness of life. You are connected to it. You are a part of it. And it is always, always moving toward you. Think about the ocean for a moment. You cannot fight the ocean. You cannot push the waves into the direction you want. But if you learn to move with the water, if you learn to float, if you learn to trust the current, the ocean will carry you further than your most exhausting swimming ever could. That is what relaxation truly means. It means trusting the current. It means believing at the deepest possible level that life is on your side, that good things are not accidents, that abundance is not a reward for punishment, that joy is not something you earn through suffering, it is something you allow through peace. And here is what is truly shocking. Here is what most people never discover. The moment you stop gripping so tightly, the moment you release the desperation, the moment you soften your jaw and unclench your hands and take one slow, deep, trusting breath, things begin to change. Not slowly, not someday, almost immediately, because your energy shifts. And when your energy shifts, your entire experience of reality shifts with it. Now let us talk about your thoughts. Because your thoughts are not just little mental visitors that pass through your mind harmlessly. Your thoughts are the blueprint of your reality. Every single thought you think is sending a signal. Every single thought you repeat is becoming a belief. And every single belief is shaping what you experience, what you attract, and what you allow. Here is the thought experiment that should genuinely disturb you. If someone recorded every single thought you had today and played it back to you tonight before bed, would you be shocked by what you heard? Would you recognize just how many times your mind said things like, I cannot, this will never work, I am not good enough, nothing ever goes right for me, I do not deserve this, and life is hard? Because here is the terrifying truth. Your subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. It does not know the difference between what has happened and what you are merely believing could happen. It simply takes your repeated thoughts and says, understood. I will make your outside world match your inside world. And then it does exactly that. This is why two people can face the exact same situation, the same job loss, the same relationship ending, the same financial difficulty, and one person crumbles while the other transforms. The circumstances are identical. The thoughts are completely different, and the thoughts determine everything. So, what are you thinking right now, underneath the surface of your conscious awareness? What stories are you telling about yourself, about life, about your future, about what you deserve? Because whatever you are thinking, life is listening. Life is always listening. And this brings us to the most important, most misunderstood, most revolutionary concept that exists: the concept of loving yourself, not performing self-care for social media, not reciting affirmations you do not believe while rolling your eyes, but truly, deeply, genuinely deciding that you are worthy, that you matter, that you deserve good things simply because you are alive. I want you to stop for a moment and really sit with this question. Do you love yourself? Not, do you like yourself when things are going well? Not, do you approve of yourself when you have achieved something? I mean, do you love yourself right now exactly as you are, with all your mess and all your mistakes and all your imperfections and all your history? Most people, if they are honest, will answer no. And that no is the source of more pain, more struggle, more limitation, and more suffering than almost any external circumstance ever could be. When you do not love yourself, you make choices from a place of unworthiness. You accept treatment from others that reflects what you believe you deserve on the inside. You self-sabotage every good thing that comes close because somewhere deep in your subconscious, a voice whispers, "This is not for people like me." You keep yourself small. You stay in situations that hurt you. You push away the very things you most desire. But when you begin, just take the first tiny step toward genuinely loving yourself. Everything changes because you are no longer making choices from lack. You are making choices from value. You are no longer attracting from a place of desperation. You are attracting from a place of wholeness. Self-love is not the destination. It is the foundation. It is the ground upon which your entire beautiful life must be built. And without it, you can try every strategy, every technique, every productivity system, every manifestation practice, and something will always feel like it is missing, because it will be. The most important ingredient will be missing. Now, here is something else I need you to understand, something that will shock you if you truly let it land. Good things are being blocked from reaching you right now, not by the economy, not by your past, not by other people, not by bad luck. They are being blocked by your own resistance. Resistance is what happens when you want something desperately but do not truly believe you can have it. Resistance is the yes, but, the I want love but I always get hurt, the I want success but people like me do not make it, the I want health but I have always struggled with this. Every single but is a wall you are building around yourself. And the most painful part? The things you have been waiting for are often so much closer than you realize. They are not in some distant future, requiring years more of struggle and sacrifice. They are hovering just at the edge of your life, waiting for you to relax enough to let them in. This is why the practice of releasing resistance is so critical, so urgent, and so absolutely life-changing. Releasing resistance means catching yourself when you add the but. It means noticing when you are telling the old story and consciously choosing to tell a new one. It means practicing the radical act of saying, I do not know how this is going to work out, but I trust that it will. It means choosing faith over fear, flow over force, openness over armor. You are not giving up when you stop fighting. You are finally getting out of your own way. And then there is the incredible power of your words, the words you say to others, yes, but even more importantly, the words you say to yourself. Because the conversation happening inside your own head is the most powerful conversation of your life. It is shaping your brain. It is shaping your body. It is shaping your future. When you speak kindly to yourself, when you say things like, I am open to wonderful new things coming into my life, when you say, I trust life to take care of me, when you say, I deserve love and I receive it freely, when you say, I am healthy, I am whole, I am worthy, you are not just saying nice words. You are giving your nervous system new instructions. You are reprogramming your subconscious. You are literally rewiring your brain. This is not wishful thinking. This is neuroscience. This is psychology. This is the lived experience of millions of people who discovered that when they changed their inner language, their outer life followed. Not always immediately, not always in the way they expected, but always, always in ways that were ultimately even better than what they had imagined. Begin today, not when you feel ready, not when things get better, not when you have more evidence that it is working. Begin today with the thoughts you are available to think right now and watch the evidence begin to show up. And finally, and this might be the most important piece of everything, gratitude. Not as a technique, not as a strategy, but as a way of being, as a fundamental orientation toward life that says, I see the good, I acknowledge the good, I am thankful for the good, and I trust that more good is always on its way. Gratitude is shocking in its power because it seems too simple. People want complex answers to why their lives feel difficult. They want elaborate systems, sophisticated strategies, powerful secrets. And then you tell them, it is gratitude, and they almost feel disappointed. But please, please do not dismiss this, because the people who practice genuine gratitude, who look at their lives every single day and find real things to feel genuinely thankful for, experience documented improvements in their mental health, their physical health, their relationships, their creativity, their immune function, their sleep quality, and their overall sense of happiness and fulfillment. This is not spiritual talk. This is measured, researched, proven fact. And on the energetic level, on the level of what you attract and what you allow, gratitude is the single most powerful accelerator that exists. Because when you are grateful, you are in abundance. When you are in abundance, you attract more abundance. When you feel rich with what you already have, life brings you more to be rich about. So here is where everything comes together. Here is the secret that is not really a secret at all, but that very few people ever fully embrace and apply. You do not have to earn your good life through exhaustion. You do not have to suffer your way to success. You do not have to fight, force, push, and grip so tightly that your whole body aches. You can choose, starting today, to relax, to breathe, to believe, to love yourself, to think thoughts that serve you, to release the resistance, to speak words of kindness to yourself and to your life, to practice gratitude as though your joy depends on it, because it does. You can choose to trust that the universe, life, the incredible intelligence behind all of creation, is fundamentally and unconditionally on your side, that it wants good things for you, that it is constantly working in your favor, even when you cannot see it, even when things look hard, even when the timing feels completely wrong. Good things are coming to you right now, not because you have finally suffered enough, not because you have earned them through enough years of struggle, but because you are willing, right now, in this moment, to relax, to open, to trust, and to receive. Everything we have explored today comes down to one single, beautiful, life transforming truth. You are worthy of a magnificent life, and that life is trying to reach you right now. The power of relaxation is real. When you stop fighting, good things can finally find their way to you. Your thoughts are your blueprint, and you have the power to choose better thoughts starting this very second. Self-love is not optional. It is the foundation of every single good thing you will ever experience. Resistance is the only real enemy, and releasing it is the most courageous act you can perform. Your words have power. Speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you deeply, completely love. And gratitude is the accelerator. The faster you appreciate what you have, the faster more arrives. This is not a complicated formula. This is not an exclusive secret for special people. This is for you, exactly as you are, exactly where you are, right now. Relax, breathe, believe, allow. Because the good things, they were always coming. They have always been coming. You simply needed to get peaceful enough to let them in.